Hello friends! The time has finally come for me to organize my disaster of a fragrance oil collection. As you can see, the intentions started out good. I have these labeled color coordinated by scent type, and then I had them labeled by number so that I could just look, oh I don't have it up, so that I could just look at my spreadsheet and like I can find the scent I'm looking for by looking for the number. But as you can see, it got more and more of a disaster as time went on. I just have some that are like in boxes from when I'm making scent combinations. I'll just like put them in one of these squares to like separate those out, but then a lot of the time I just won't put them back where they belong. I have so many that I've gotten that don't have any label because I haven't labeled them yet. So I'm just going to start a new system for all this. Okay, here is my current spreadsheet. I have scent name, scent category, subcategory, the company I got it from, and then just like some other scent notes. This is the one where they are like connected to a number. Scents get discontinued so often that I'm like, that can't be the system anymore. I think I'm gonna come up with abbreviations with the names that match up with the scent colors. And then I think I'm going to organize this differently, or now I have it in numerical order, or did. I'm going to separate these by scent type, because that's generally how I do things anyway, is knowing what kind of scent I want. So I think that'll be better, and then no more numbers. Then this is the new spreadsheet that I'm going to be working on. Very similar. So this is going to be color-coded of if I like the scent, it'll be green. If it's discontinued, it'll be yellow or orange. And if I just don't like it, I think I'm gonna have it be red, because there's some scents that I like want a catalog, but I just don't really think I'll ever use them, I guess. Maybe that sounds stupid. But then I still have the name, the category, the subcategory. Then I'm gonna have a ranking of how I feel about it, and then the rest will stay the same. So it's time to start. I've been avoiding this forever. It semi breaks my heart to do this because I just cleared out this floor, but I'm going to put this table up, hopefully just temporarily. So that I just don't have to work on the floor to organize these, because I will do that and then I will hurt my back. And this table thing was already up here from when I was sewing, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, so since the first scent I'm working with just by default ended up being a floral, I'm gonna work on the florals first. I need to pull all of them out. Which right now, floral is this like magenta. I know this wasn't organized anyway, like it was just way, it was not. It feels weird taking these out because I remember I spent so much time setting this up, but I just needed I needed a refresher. And I do think that not having these like number will help. I used to say I thought there was no such thing as too many fragrance oils. I no longer think that. That part of me is dead. I think this will also help me realize, obviously, what I'm lacking, because there's sometimes where I think I have like a lot of one scent type, and then when it comes down to it, I kind of don't. Oh, actually, you know, I think there are some... There's like two combos in here that I do want to keep together. I think these are all my florals that I have labeled. Oh, this is a disaster. So honestly, yeah, this is not as many as I thought, but I do have a lot of samples that are not labeled at all. So I think now I'm going to take those out and just categorize them so I know eventually where they will be going. It's frustrating because I think like I'll get in the mood to scent mix but then not get in the mood to make candles. So I'll like put the scents together. My bangs are driving me insane today, but it is what it is. I'll put the scents together and then just not make candles. So then they're just like sitting here in their little collection, and then I never make them. So that's fun. But maybe if I do this, that won't happen as much. But yeah, I feel like for the past while, I will like feel like I maybe want to make scents, and then I look at my collection and see like how disorganized it is and how many scents I have that are not labeled, and not labeling them makes the process of mixing scents so much harder. And I just kept letting it get worse and worse until the thought of getting near these was just unbearable. Hopefully this will be like the refresh that I need to be able to do my job again. I think in general my goal is just to like really narrow it down, just all of it. I'm not even gonna specify what that means. It's just I need less of it all. Okay, but these ones, this box, I know, are scents that are discontinued. I did separate those out a couple months ago. Like I went through everything I had and found out what was discontinued from the suppliers. All of these are just discontinued. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I might make like one-off candles with them or something. And then I also know that some of these are duplicates. I think I almost have all of them. Oh no. There's a little collection over here in the corner. I don't even have room to get to the corner. I think this is most things. Hopefully all things, but at the very least it is most things. Okay, here is what we're working with. Got my florals and got all of my not yet labeled. So I will smell each of these and give them a scent category. Throughout the entire like 4 days of doing this, I've just felt super emotional. Like every time I sat down to do this, I just felt so like sad and angry and anxious and like all of the feelings, which is weird because I'm just entering in data, but like throughout the past 4 days, I've just kind of been like wondering why this has been so difficult. Organizing all these scents and like having all of these scents has been a metaphor / representation of like all of the things I'm most insecure about when it comes to having a small business. The sheer amount of fragrance oils that I have is kind of represents like how much money I've put into doing all of this, and it highlights the juxtaposition between how much like money and creativity I've put into the small business, and then how much I've gotten back from it and how much I've actually let myself be creative. I have a lot of different scents, and as I was going through these, I kind of noticed how many of them I've never used, even though I like them. And that's a little complicated because sometimes I like a scent but it just doesn't match a song. I just can't find the right thing to use it for. But honestly, it also kind of highlights how often I just won't make things out of fear. I kept like experiencing that as I was organizing these because I'd come up with an idea and be like, oh, I think this is actually how I could use this. And the second I'd have any idea or like any creative thought, the imposter syndrome, I guess, would just kick in, like literally so immediately, and I would just be bombarded with like, no one's gonna like that, that's a stupid idea, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. Like literally every time I smelled a scent that would happen, and there's a lot in here. I don't know how many, but I think last time I counted there was like over 200, so I'm having that experience like 200 times of like, oh, I have this idea, and then like, no, you're an idiot. That's a lot to like put yourself through, I guess. I think the weird thing about my brain is that half of it tries to be like so reasonable and practical, and then the other half just like doesn't understand what that means. So I feel like while I was trying to do this, I was trying to think of how to use my supplies in the most efficient manner, I guess, and then like battling myself of like efficiency versus creativity. And it was just like any thought that I had the entire time I was doing this, I like was fighting myself on it so hard. Like I never just let myself feel or think anything freely without criticizing it, which I do all the time anyway. And then I also think that it made me confront a lot of my feelings and fears about creativity and everything, because I feel like as a small business owner, like I'm assuming most people every day kind of ask yourself like, why am I doing this? And you have to constantly remind yourself why you're doing it. And I think I've definitely kind of lost sight of that a little bit over the past few years. Every time I try to bring myself back to doing it because it makes me happy, like that never feels like it's enough. And also I don't let myself be happy while I'm doing it. So as you can imagine, blanketing myself in all of those negative thoughts and criticisms and ideas and everything for the past 4 days for like hours on end while I do this has not been good for my mental health. But I do think there were a lot of things that like I needed to think about and like needed to confront that I hadn't confronted fully in a while. So I think that's why it felt like so overwhelming. But there is like that small, because the good things always have to be so small, you know? That small bit of relief and like gratification that like I did it. I finally did it. And this is like my canvas. All of these scents are like how they're, I don't know, they're just how I make things. So them being organized makes the thought of creating new scents feel a lot less daunting than it has for the past while. Okay, I think it's day 4, yeah? I think I'm actually gonna finish today. But I don't want to do this anymore. I truly don't. Why do I feel like I'm about to cry? Anyway, I'll try to finish the work and then pull myself together and be able to talk about it. I did it. It's finally over. Okay, so here we have florals, fruity scents, earthy, herby scents. These are gourmand, so these are like bakery and food. Then there's sweet and like just sugary. Then we have green, which is like fresh, like it's more fresh than earthy. Woodsy, need more of those. I love woodsy scents. These are kind of like clean, powdery scents, so like laundry, that kind of thing. These are like my aqua, fresh, watery scents. These are citrus. Then back here we have like masculine, smoky, and spicy.